We are backstage at Pointfest, and I am absolutely honored and incredibly nervous, as a matter of fact, to have the pleasure of speaking to Alice in Chains. Gentlemen, thank you so very much. It's really great to see you here today.
Why is he nervous? Is he owes money or something?
I do not. I do not.
You slept with my wife, you son of a bitch.
Oh. See, none of those kinds of things other than just your random fanboy saw you in 93 at Lollapalooza,
That's all right.
all
That's
of that
acceptable.
sort of thing, you know?
All
But
good, man.
It's really great to have you here. And, you know, one of the things that, in reading about the new record, it seems like the excitement level is more than just kind of like, you know, of course everybody says the nice things when their new album is about to come out.
Not everybody, man.
Well, but it seems like there is genuine excitement about this particular project. Can you tell us
I'll
a
just
bit
knock
why?
on you.
Yeah.
Well, we don't do records every year, so it takes a while. So when we get one out, it's like, all right, they actually did one. Like, it's been about 5 years since we put a record out, so the response to the one has been really strong. We've been having a great time playing it. People seem to enjoy it, so it's all good. You know, we've been lucky enough to be able to still be doing this. We still get to go cool places and show up and have people like want us to play our music for them, and we're still making new music that people like too. So it's great.
Who knows too? Some of this stuff is just cyclical, you know. Like, you never know why it is that a certain record might get a little bit more attention or energy behind it or excitement around it than others, but you just kind of weather it either way, you know? And so it's cool that this one seems to have a little bit more, some kind of enthusiasm maybe around it, you know? It's good.
Absolutely so. I mean, do you guys say that a bit to yourselves when it comes to songs like, you know, the big smashes that are still getting lots and lots and lots of play in Rooster? And I mean, do you ever sometimes kind of say, well, I'm not sure why this song sticks more so than another track that might not have gotten as popular?
It's all about money. We just pay.
It's who you pay.
It's who you pay, how much you pay, and, you know, for 30 years we've been paying a lot, and it's.
Truth be told, music is stupid, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even.
Yeah, you got to.
He doesn't even like music.
You got to.
So I don't even know.
You got to do some things. Is all I'm saying.
Right.
Every once in a while, you got to.
No,
do
I mean
some
that's
stuff, you know?
it's you never know why songs take on a life of their own. That's for everybody else makes that decision for you, right? So if you're lucky enough to have that happen, then you're honored by it, and you're kind of blown away, and you just. But we did our part. We did those songs all those years ago. Now for some reason they keep going on. What gets weird is like we used to joke when we were young. It was like classic rock, and then you become that. You know,
yeah,
you're like
classic
holy
rock
shit.
Now.
Do you remember like the first time that maybe you heard yourself on one of those kinds of stations and were like, whoa, wait, we are not there. That is not us.
It's cool, man, because you're wedged in between
really
these
cool.
bands you like, you know. And it's like I said, you thought when you're young and you're kind of a dipshit, you think it's funny or whatever. And you're like, oh, hey, and then you kind of realize, like, wow, we're wedged in there with all our favorite bands, which is kind of cool.
Yeah,
you know.
I saw a quote from you, Jerry, not very long ago. We're talking about Bon Jovi being inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, long overdue.
Absolutely.
Can you talk about that a little bit more? And then, I mean, gentlemen, we're in that place where you're in that running as well. You'll be in there before too awful long. I mean, then that has to be.
I don't believe that.
But I mean, legitimately, I mean, guys, you cannot say that. But I mean,
Well,
some of your contemporaries are, and you're right there with them. So I don't see why you wouldn't.
Yeah, well, that's a nice thought, man. We appreciate that, and it's just nice
We'll
to.
see.
Yeah,
We won't hold our breath.
We're technically eligible for sure. You know, I mean, there's only 5 or 6 people that get inducted every year, so it's really hard. And I started having a little bit more of an appreciation. I get that people, including ourselves, like why isn't so and so in, or why isn't another band or whatever? Why does one guy get in and another act not? But there's only a handful every year, so to see. To actually be able to partake in a couple and see, like, when the year that Hart got inducted and to see the Cars go in this year and see Bon Jovi. I mean, they've been an incredibly strong band for many years, sold 130 million records. Wow. I mean, you know what I mean? They weathered a flavor change or two, within their career, and every band has to do that. You know what I mean? When maybe whatever kind of brought you to prominence or whatever. There's other music just naturally changes. So to have the longevity, the songwriting, and the dedication that those guys put in, all of those inductees, the Moody Blues and Dire Straits. Nina Simone. Yeah, I mean, it's just amazing to see. And when you get to see it, when you get to see Rush and Heart, and you get to see these bands go in, and it's not something that really makes your career. Your career is made before you're ever inducted to do that. But it is a nice thing. It's always nice to be recognized for your work.
It was so happy to see Alex and those guys get in.
Yeah,
and
they were really stoked about it too.
And then the jams too.
Oh, the jams are the best.
It's a cool thing. It's a musical gathering of the tribes for one night. Everybody shows up in a place, and it's a thing. And then
long-standing feuds and all that kind of thing too, which is cool.
Yeah, it's nice when you see those stories. I will say though, I kind of take it way more personal than I need to. When Jane's Addiction didn't get in, I was really bummed about that because I just, there's a lot of bands that you could say are forefathers or whatnot, but I just feel like there's something about them that they certainly belong.
I think last time
MC5 isn't in there yet. You know what I mean? It's like
there's a whole handful.
Yeah. Judas Priest.
Last
Iron
time we were
Maiden.
here, I think in this venue, we played with Jane's Addiction. It was like Papa Roach, Uproar or something it was called. Remember we played at this place. Yeah, I think we played this building with Jane's last time. I agree. They should be in. They're influential.
This.
But who votes?
Right. And also, too, and I heard Howard Stern say a brilliant thing a number of years ago, which I wish I could take credit for, is that they instead of calling it the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, they call it some kind of Music Hall of Fame. And then that way, you can open this up to, like we're saying, so many other people that absolutely belong there.
Yeah.
This new record was recorded in Seattle. First time that you guys had done that in a number of years. I assume the reason being is because of distractions and things when you're close to home. Is that one of the reasons that you didn't? And why did you decide to do it this time?
Well, the last two records we made Sean come to LA and live there basically. So he was like, you know what? Why don't you give me a break this time and let's do a record by my home where I'm living still. So we decided to do that, and of course we have history with that studio when we recorded there for the Alice in Chains record.
Like 94
that was
or
when
something.
Hart owned it, and it was called Bad Animals, and so that's part of our history too. It was great to reconnect with home and be around all of our family and friends there, and
time of year too. Beautiful time of year.
yeah, it's summer, and Seattle is the best time to be there. So
My son keeps talking about moving to Seattle. And I'm like, very much like, oh, it seems like a great place. Dad can come and visit you. But then the dad part kicks in where I'm like, whoa. You're like thousands of miles away. I don't know that I'm so much down with that as much anymore. Well, gentlemen, I just wanted to again say thank you. I mean, I've been in radio since 1997. And your songs are ones that stick with me, that I do not get tired of, that I can listen to Dirt and Facelift just like they were brand new, and the continuation and the newness of what you brought in, William, is just great. And I just want to say thank you. It's really an honor to have you.
We weren't going to play anything off those two albums, but we will now because of you. Okay. Twist our arms. All right, we'll do it for you.
okay.
Well, thank you guys, and we're really looking forward to hearing the new record. And your excitement has made me incredibly excited.
It's a great record, man.
And when do we get it again? I've heard August, but is that true?
That sounds about right. Somewhere around there.
Yes,
Yeah.
I know that was just a rumor.
Yeah.
We'll call it 2018.
Yeah.
There it is. Alice in Chains, backstage at Pointfest. Thank you, gentlemen.
Yeah.